front end. Yep, and the wing and all the cool stuff.
All-American Sunday. It's Anthony Griffin from Seattle, Washington, 1987 Buick Regal. It's got the 3.8 turbo V6, 20-inch Boyd wheels, Toyo tires, factory T-tops. These Buicks are real popular, and they're available, and they're not expensive to get into.
No.
And you can get out and have a lot of fun. Anthony Griffin All-American Sunday Award. Congratulations.
Yeah, very cool. These are the mid-'80s cars are good. You know, it's a good way to get young people involved at a very affordable price. T-tops, man, remember that? It's a turbo deal. Awesome. Here is our muscle car.
All right, y'all, the diagnosis. So, it was leaking there, but it wasn't leaking there too much. I think it was more seeping out of there because the pan, the bolts in the pan weren't very tight. I don't think that was the main source of the problem. This right here, you can see it. Definitely leaking here on both sides, here and on the other side. So there must be a crack right above that cross member that I cannot see on the line, and it could be a hairline crack. It could just be crack from vibration. I mean, these lines are probably, well, you know, however old it from '87. I'm sure they're original. So there must be some type of hairline crack because it's not leaking. It's leaking a lot, but it's not leaking like super fast. Probably a big drip every 5 seconds, you know, which is fairly fast, but you know, it'd be good enough for me to, you know, get it on a car trailer and take it home. But I think it's something that I can fix here. So what I'll probably end up doing, and I think this is a cheap enough and inexpensive enough fix, what I'll probably just do is cut these lines, because since they're all bent to fit, and I don't want to have to deal with trying to, you know, moving them around and trying to get them out. So I'll probably just cut them and then just pull them out and then go ahead and make my own lines, just like I did with my Caprice just recently and with my Chevelle. All right, y'all, so I made it to the storage unit. Now I'm about to get after it here. So these are just some of the parts that I have to make my own transmission lines. If you saw my last video in regards to my leak on the Regal here, the Regal sitting right here, then you were able to see kind of what the transmission lines and stuff look like and where the leak was coming from. So it's just a 204R, you know, your stock kind of, well, I guess it's not stock, it's built a little bit, but it's what came in these cars back in '87 on the Turbo Regal. So they come with your normal kind of hard lines, stainless steel lines. Mine developed a leak, so I'm just gonna make my own lines from here. So I just got your standard kind of -6 nylon braided hose. These are just some spare hoses here. I ordered some more. I usually just get that off eBay. These here are basically hose separators here. So it's after you get everything installed, then you can put these little clamps in there to kind of keep your hoses separated from each other and kind of keep them from moving all around. So that's what those are. Same thing here. I just ordered some extra ones. These are the straight in kind of hose swivel fittings. So you just basically use that red part here to put over the end of the hose, and then there's a male fitting that smashes in there and you screw it together. That's what keeps the seal on it. So I got 2 of those. And then these are adapter fittings. So I'm going to screw out the old adapters and put these adapters in there. And that way I can use these fittings to screw on and off. So these are 45-degree angle fittings. And I hope these will work. I think they will, to hook up to the transmission fitting lines. So right here. So I got that. And these are barb fittings because at the top of the in the engine bay where the hoses go in the transmission cooler, whoever put it in there put like barb end fittings there, and I don't really want to change it right now. I just really want to get the car going, so I just ordered these to screw in the hose there, and then these will screw into the other end of the hose here, and then this will screw right into there, and this will go right into the cooler. So I should be good to go, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on this while I still have daylight and try to knock this out. All right, y'all, man, she is done. It's like 6:30, man. I've been here since like noon, maybe 12:30 working on this thing. And man, it didn't really give me problems. It's just the way they have the transmission lines routed. There is no way you can take those lines or install those lines at all without probably lifting the engine. I mean, it's crazy, y'all. They're just bent, like, you know, straight up and then over, and then at a 90 and then this way. It's insane. What I was hoping, because I knew where it was leaking right above the cross member, and the transmission goes right above the cross member and where the oil pan is. And I knew it was leaking in there, but I didn't know which line. And so I just took a guess. That was my best thought, because what I wanted to do was cut one of the lines and hope that was a line that was bad. And then that way I would just keep the other line and just make one line and I'd be done with it. Also too, the lines run so tight to the crossover manifold and to the exhaust manifolds and the turbo downpipe. It's dang near, well, almost dang near impossible or away from those hot exhaust manifolds and stuff like that. So it was a bit of a challenge. So what I wanted to do, since the hard lines were kind of ran that way, is hopefully if I was able to cut the bad line, then I could just follow the other good line with my nylon braided line and just zip tie it to those, and then that way it would be out the way and I'll be good. But that was not the case. I cut the wrong line, and then I had to just replace both lines. So there was no way for me knowing at all, because I'll show you right now this line. So it was just as I thought. Oh man. So let me see if I can get into better lighting. And sure enough, there it is right there. So you can see where the shiny part is and how it's indented like that. It's basically shaved, and then there's that crack in it. So it basically was rubbing long enough until it got to the hollow point, and then that was it. So when I was moving the lines around, there was no way I could see that. It was just so hard, even with my lights. And I just basically had to take a guess at which one. What I should have did, it was leaking fairly good. I should have cut the pressure line, and that was me not thinking. And because the way it was leaking, it probably was coming from the pressure line. But you know, whatever. I got all new lines. So now, but yeah, man. So that was basically the culprit. I'll take you back to the car here, kind of just show you what I did. I won't take you under the car because I really don't want to get back on the ground again. I've been up and down, up and down, up and down on this car all day. But there's really not much to see. It's just, you know, the lines ran to the transmission. But as you can see, so these are the two transmission lines that I made. And those are the fittings right there, and on the bottom. So they run into a transmission cooler and then go in the radiator and then come back out. So I had to basically get a bunch of different various fittings, barb fittings, swivel fittings, and things like that to make it work per this particular setup, and made it work. And I did put hose clamps on. I've learned my lesson for my Caprice. But basically it's basically ran the same route as the hard lines were. You just basically tighten them up, zip tied them to other existing hoses and clips and things like that. You can't really see under the car. Pretty much the same. It follows pretty much the same path. And it was a little bit of a challenge underneath to get those lines away from like this downpipe and those exhaust manifolds and stuff, but I made it work. It kind of gets in the way of the starter a little bit, but I have enough slack where if I need to take out the starter, I can just cut one of the zip ties, move the lines to the side, and then call it good. So anyways, y'all, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. My girl's parents live really close to here, so they're expecting me. They were kind of worried because I didn't text them or call them the whole time I was here, which I probably should have, but I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. I'm hungry, haven't ate. I still gotta load all this stuff up. So anyways, y'all, you guys know what to do, man. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, y'all. And soon this thing will be back on the road. All right, I'll holla.